My best friend introduced me to a job. She said her relative's son died. His parents wanted to hold a ghost marriage for their son. The premise is that the bride must be a chef. After the work is completed, there will be a hard work fee of 300,000 yuan. My dad needs 200,000 yuan in surgery. I gritted my teeth and agreed directly. I didn't expect that this ghost marriage was not as simple as I thought. My name is Zhao Xiaoling. I am 26 years old this year and I am still single. At noon today, my best friend sent me a message. She said my dad's surgery fee was settled. She said it would cost a little bit to get the money. I replied excitedly, no matter what the price, as long as I can save my dad, I am willing. My best friend told me everything. It turned out that the son of my best friend's relative was dead. His parents felt sorry for his son's young age and died unexpectedly before they even had time to marry his wife. So they wanted to have a ghost marriage, so that their son would be a real man, so that he would have no regrets and could be reborn with peace of mind. But there is a prerequisite, that is, the woman must be a cook, and they don't want their son to find an impure woman to be his wife. My best friend told me that as long as I pray to the man and I, then enter the bridal chamber and sleep for one night, I can get 300,000 the next morning. Regarding getting this money, I have thought of many possibilities, and even made the worst plans. I never expected that it would be this kind of ghost marriage, marrying a corpse. It sounds very scary. I am a woman, so I feel extremely scared and resisted, but I have no choice. Yesterday, I received a bad news that if my father didn't have surgery, he would probably not be able to hold on for a few days. But the operation cost is 200,000 yuan. I only have my dad in this world, so I have to get that money. Moreover, I am not at a loss. I can get the surgery fee in one night, and I don't have to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a certificate. I just need to take a walk. After the matter is done, I can still fall in love and get married without being bound. My best friend knew that I agreed, so she immediately sent me an address. After reading it, I didn't say a word and was ready to rush over now. After all, time waited for no one. As long as I go earlier, the more hope my dad will have. According to the address, I came to a village in the east of the city. After getting off the car, I saw my best friend. When she saw me coming, she ran over immediately. Xiaoling, all our preparations have been done. We also apply the groom with a hot water bag. While he is still a normal body temperature and is not cold, hurry up and go into the bridal chamber. I glanced at the middle-aged couple behind my best friend. My best friend said, this is the man's parents, and from now on, you will be your parents-in-law. Although the middle-aged woman is a little older, she still has charm and can still see her beauty when she was young. The man is very tall, although his hair is gray and wrinkles, he is still handsome and elegant. A man and a woman are handsome, and the son you give birth to may not be very big, but he will definitely not be too ugly. After all, I'm not too disadvantageous. At this time, my father-in-law, who was a ghost marriage, came over and signaled me to take out my phone to show my payment code. Without saying a word, I transferred 200,000 yuan to me. Your name is Xiaoling, right? You are so beautiful. This 200,000 yuan is my deposit for you. As for the final payment, I will transfer it to you after the matter is completed. I was very excited to see the news of the account. At this moment, I completely believed that they were not liars. After all, I even gave the money. I could have surgery on my father immediately, and I had 100,000 more. I could buy nutrition. Taste. My mother-in-law's eyes were filled with sadness. She looked at me with a silence, and choked up, child, go in quickly, my son is waiting for you, don't let him wait in a hurry. I nodded, took a deep breath, forcibly suppressed the fear that was about to face the corpse, and walked resolutely into the room. For the remaining final payment, I took it aside. Just as I was about to close the door, my father-in-law called me, and there was an unquestionable seriousness in his eyes. Child, after taking this money, you must take my son's wedding seriously. I will bring someone to check. First, I want to see your cook's blood. Second, I want to find a doctor in the village to check you to see if you had a room last night. You must not make any fraud. I don't want me to do so. My son's bridal chamber turned out to be a premeditated scam. Seeing that serious expression, I felt a little uneasy in my heart and felt disbelief of his words. When I heard my best friend say I wanted a wedding room, I thought I was just lying in the coffin and sleeping, and I would be fine if I took the money the next day. But I didn't expect that they were going to be really. This is very difficult to deal with. If I exchanged genders, it would be better. I would treat the other person as a baby and just be simple and crude. But I am a woman, and the man is still a corpse at present, how could it have that function? The middle-aged man seemed to see my surprise and helplessness, and explained patiently, "Don't worry, my son has just died soon." According to medical records, after the man died 8 hours, there will be a return to that aspect. You can hold on for 3 hours, so you just need to wait until that time and go straight to the bridal chamber with my son. When I heard my father-in-law's words, I looked disbelief and quickly looked at my best friend. My best friend took out her cell phone and showed it to me. She even consulted a doctor specifically, but she didn't expect it to be true. When I think about really having sex with a corpse, I feel very chilled. But now that I have come to this point, for the final payment, I can only bite the bullet and cannot break the trust, right? I forced a smile and responded, "Don't worry, I will never cheat." I walked into the room. It's different from what I imagined. There is no coffin or something in the middle. It's just an ordinary wedding house. The red quilt with happy characters window flowers. The only special thing is the groom lying on the bed. He is particularly handsome, although his face was already bloodless. But there is still a bit masculine between the eyebrows. Maybe it wasn't long since I died. At the age of his parents, he was 28 years old. 2 years older than me. I couldn't help but sigh. She looks so handsome, it is completely in line with my husband's aesthetic taste. What a pity, it was a corpse. Next is my bridal chamber time. I am a girl and have my own chills. They don't have a good time staying here either. But before leaving, they asked to take my phone away. He said he was afraid that I would take photos of the deceased, post them on WeChat Moments, and ignore the serious business after entering, use his mobile phone to watch videos, disturb the body, etc. Although the reasons are weird, I had to promise them. But I gave the phone to my best friend and I was always worried. They didn't object, and told me to leave after a while. After all, this is the first time I have been bridal chamber with a corpse. Of course, it's my first time. For safety reasons, I immediately locked the door, pulled the curtains and closed the windows. After locking these things, I came to the bed and looked at the man on the bed carefully. He is even better than all the male stars I have seen on the internet, and his name is also nice, and his name is Shin Lang. I couldn't help but reach out and touch it, his face was still hot. Maybe it was because the body was covered with a quilt and was covered with a hot water bag. Alas, will I really want to hand over this corpse called Shin Lang for the first time? I'm so sad now. Although I agreed to their conditions, the separation should be true. No matter how handsome the corpse is, it is still a corpse. This is a physiological instinctive resistance. I frowned, struggled for a while, and finally made up my mind to accept the wedding chamber with him. Because they will ask a doctor to check tomorrow. If I find out that I am cheating, the money may be recovered by them, and then my father will be really done. For my dad, I don't want to have this kind of luck mentality. I took a deep breath and decided to give it my best, just treat it as playing with toys. As soon as I thought about it, I pulled open the quilt and wanted to see if there was a rebirth in his life. After all, I would feel at ease sooner. It's because the time hasn't come yet, and nothing special is there. But he has a very good figure and has 8-pack abs. I couldn't help but touch his chest muscles. Suddenly, at this moment, my eyes widened and his heartbeat was still beating. I thought it was my illusion, so I leaned my ears on his heart. Listening to the not-so-strong heartbeat, I was finally sure that this man was not dead yet. When I touched his body, I actually felt something was wrong. According to my calculations, this man's death should have been more than 5 hours now. The corpse will harden between half an hour and 2 hours after death, and the subsequent time will continue to harden, and the body will gradually become cold. Even if you have a hot water bag, it has been so long since then. It is impossible for the body to be elastic like a normal person, and it is impossible for everyone to have temperature in everything. This means that this man has not completely lost his life. It's too late to be sent to the hospital now, maybe. So I decided to use the first aid method I learned in college to try to make him come alive. So I rubbed his body while using my own body to provide him with temperature and also gave him artificial respiration from time to time. After all, I am saving people and I don't care about these subsections. And I also took them 200,000, which is still a super handsome guy, and it's not too much of a loss. I worked hard for more than 2 hours, and the handsome guy coughed a few times and finally opened his eyes. I was surprised to be about to go out and tell them the news. And my temporary parents-in-law will definitely be very happy when she sees her son wake up. Maybe I will repay me hard because I saved their son. Not only will this 200,000 be recovered, but I will also give me the remaining 100,000 yuan and buy nutritional supplements for my father. However, as soon as I got out of bed, the man grabbed me and stopped me from going out. They are not good people. I widened my eyes, not understanding what he said meant. You are their son, will your parents still harm you? Xin Lang sat up from the bed weakly and leaned against the pillow. You misunderstood, I'm not their son. My mind was completely confused. Then why did they spend a lot of money to get a ghost marriage for you? Xin Lang whispered, I am from the city. I originally wanted to come to this village to buy some mountain goods, but I didn't expect that I could still encounter robbery in this rule of law society. During the dispute, I was hit on the head with a hoe. He showed me the back of his head that there was indeed a broken wound, which had already scabbed and was red and swollen around him. The robbers thought I was dead and were frightened. They were unwilling to bear a life, so they decided to find someone to marry me and leave my death on each other. I was shocked and shivered all over. It's a scam. They want to harm me. Xin Lang said, this is what I overheard before I was completely unconscious. My face turned pale and I was so scared. I just wanted to earn some surgery, but I didn't expect to fall into someone else's trap. Wait, this job was recommended to me by my best friend, who said they were her relatives. Could it be that she was also one of the planners for the crime of causing me to be punished? However, at this time, my best friend's voice came from outside the door. How is Xiaoling? Is the groom looking back? When I heard the sound outside the door, I was shocked and didn't know how to reply. Just when I was at a loss, my best friend's next sentence directly raised my heart to my throat. Why did Xiaoling's groom sit up?